comes first. Safety first. Oh, look at that. This will go in our bloopers edit.
You know?
Oh, son of a gun. It's going to take me longer to get my tool back than disconnect this damn battery cable. Disconnect your battery, pretty much. We're doing the intake gasket, intake manifold, so the whole top has to come off. So, let's go to it. Air intake is going to come off first.
Always disconnect math. And before you do any electrical or do any work that has to do with like electrical, always disconnect your battery, guys. You know, safety.
That's that. Got these two back here. Look. And this bad boy should just come out. You got the air meter. Where's that boy? And that's pretty much it.
Alright, intake is done, guys. Have a nice day. Hot! Just kidding. But yeah, here's the new intake manifold for it that we're going to be putting in. Just GoPro stuff, get out of the way. So yeah, brand new intake. So, you know, your local parts store, online, however you want. We got this at a parts store. So, we can go ahead and get this taken apart and then slap a new one in it and hopefully fix the issue, which is real common on the 4.6s where they leak around the corners of the intake.
And that's where my problem is. It's blown out right around this corner going into this coil, and it's just not running good. It's sputtering, no power at all.
We're going to get the bracket off, the alternator out the way. No, alternator stays on, right?
Yeah, alternator comes off.
Alright, so we're going to get the bracket off, the alternator off, and then we'll update you guys here in a second. Alright guys, so you can actually keep the alternator in and just fish it around. So go ahead and disconnect the injectors and fuel rail, or the injectors and the coil packs, and then go from there.
You just squeeze the sides, slide them up. We're working on a 4.6 liter. Either it could be Crown Vic, any of your Lincolns.
Town cars, yeah.
What else? Mercury Grand Marquis, which this is a Marquis.
Mustangs. So 4.6s came in a lot. I believe they also came in F-150s.
Yep, F-150s and some of the Econoline vans.
So in there, a long, like, year span that they came in. Real common issue on them, guys, like I was saying earlier, how they leak out of the corners and stuff. So go ahead.
These throttle cables hook up to these clips in the back of the intake. All that's got to come off.
Not a hard job, guys. It looks a lot harder than it really is. So don't let it like scare you to do this. If you guys aren't too familiar with cars, I wouldn't recommend it. But you know, it's just nuts and bolts and screws, guys. Like, it's real easy to do. So don't be scared. Alright guys, we're gonna go ahead and drain the coolant out of it. So, and then you want to go ahead and unplug any wiring that's connected to the intake part of the vehicle. So that sensor here, and then on the intake there was some, and then like I said, all your fuel injectors, your coil packs, stuff like that out of the way. And there's a couple little vacuum lines, you know, the PCV valve, stuff like that you want to get out of the way. So, and then there would be bolts all around that you can get to down in there. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Bolts all along the intake. So go ahead and take the upper radiator hose off, or the thermostat housing.
Your new kit will come with a new gasket, new thermostat, everything that you need for this whole intake. I went ahead and already replaced this thermostat with one that opens at 170 degrees, so the car runs cooler. I live in Florida. I don't know if it makes a difference for any of you guys, but I like my car to stay cool. And then when it gets hot, I know it's hot. I know there's something wrong if it moves. See, my dumbass blew this one up, blew the gasket out on this one, revving the car up like a jackass. I was revving it up real good, and then it started misfiring and running like shit. I thought it was the coils, and when I went to go look, I blew the seal out on the intake. So now it costs me money.
Yeah. And these intakes, for the complete intakes, they're right around $200 or so for a new intake. So, yeah. I'm sure there's like an aftermarket, like aluminum intake you can get for these or something like that. But it is what it is. I know eventually this car hopefully will be supercharged. I know he's trying to supercharge it later on. So, and then upgrade the throttle body and everything for the F-150 one. It makes it a bigger one. So stuff like that you can do to get a little power out of these, you know. The pulleys set up. So we're gonna go ahead and let that finish draining, and then get what else is out of the way, in the way to get out, and then pull thermostat off, stuff like that. So we'll update as we go along. Alright guys, so there's a bracket that goes from the throttle body area to the intake, and those are 8mm. The majority of the bolts that you'll be taking off are 8s and 10s.
A few 7s.
Yeah, a couple 7s, not many. And pretty easy job, like I said. Don't be like scared to tackle this job, guys. So
we're doing this with Harbor Freight tools, guys.
Yeah. Go ahead and get that bracket off, and that will remove the throttle cables and cruise control cable. After we just take it and just throw it over. The alternator bracket, we just moved it to the side. The hose, we just moved to the side. Stuff like that.
Got one more cable here. That's your throttle cable.
Boom, boom, boom.
And that's ready to be flipped on over.
Stuck right there.
And I got one more here. Hold on. Alright.
And throw that over to the side like I was saying. Boom. So
this one's going to be right here.
and then you got hoses that go to the back of the throttle body.
And you guys, I'm notorious because I will forget stuff. I'm going to go ahead and put all these back where they belong, and then I'll transfer them over later. That way it's easier and things go a lot smoother. What went here?
The bracket.
You got a couple of hoses and clamps. And this one here. And guys, this is probably the perfect time if you guys want to do an EGR delete. You guys can cut yourself a little piece of aluminum or whatever it is that you want and just block this EGR off if you want to do it. And good time to clean out your throttle body and plenum and all that. Clean it out real good. I've already done this once, so mine is all clean. Let's see. Now this whole throttle body should come off.
And I believe they're 8 millimeters.
That's correct.
8 millimeters. Take the plenum off, and you can leave the throttle body attached. So, and when using power tools, guys, remember you can use power tools to remove, but never really want to hammer down on impacts and stuff on plastic or aluminum because you can crack them and break stuff. So snug them down a little bit. Really don't impact it. Use a ratchet or something to torque it down. So we are going to go ahead and eliminate this EGR setup. Don't need it. So, right there, guys, the upper plenum and throttle body's off. Simple, easy job. If you guys have gasket material that's stuck on here, on these vehicles, like these engines, you won't because it's all like rubber gaskets and stuff, so you should be good. But still, you know, clean the surface and stuff so the mate's good on it. But I'm going to go ahead and get it. I mean, it's pretty much almost there. Like I said, from here, just...
It's all downhill pretty much from here.
Yeah. I mean, just unbolting the intake from here. You got this bracket you got to take off.
And there's a bolt in the back, which is a difficult one. It's a 15 millimeter.
That holds this bracket on. So, we're going to go ahead and get that bracket off. Alright guys, so we've got the bracket off. And pull the fuel rail off right now. Sneak it around here onto the EGR. Boom. And you just throw that to the side as well. And then from here, you can go ahead and access all bolts. So we're gonna go ahead and get that all taken out.
We got the fuel rail off. It just swung to the side. EGR valve just kind of stays there. We're gonna get a plate and block that off. All the hoses. Now these screws that you get with the new intake, these are self-tapping screws. You gotta be very careful. The holes in the intake were not tapped out to accept the screw. So if you use it more than once or have to change your coils out, there's a chance of stripping the coil screw holes. And these guys just pop out.
Dun, 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 dun.
And I use dialectic grease on the bottom and on the top. Each one keeps moisture out, keeps them from arcing. And we're going to do the same thing we did here on the other side. These on the top are going to be 7 millimeters. Except for this one here, because just like I was explaining to you, it got stripped out. I had to go with a bigger screw. So it's a 10 millimeter head is what I got on there. Just to be able to hold it in. And you pop these suckers out.
She said. When all that's out, guys, you can access all your bolts for the intake manifold right through there. Same on the passenger side, all through there. And then you got a couple up front. You got these two that you got to take off because they go down into the intake or into the head. So go ahead and get those removed, and intake will be off.
Is there another one over here? Alright, and then I just got this last one.
There's one back here, guys. It's kind of a pain to get. Gotta get in there with a small little ratchet or something. Like so, probably with a short.
You got to figure out a way to torque when it's time to torque this one. Oh my god.
There you go. Someone had their spinach today.
It made me shit a little.
Either you had your spinach or you're backed up. Alrighty, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, of all ages and sizes and all animals.
Hello.
Sir, we're in the middle of doing something.
How are you?
So, alright guys, he's going to take that,
Trying to fix it?
and then we're going to go ahead and pop this intake off. Will she come off is the question.
Alright.
Dun 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 dun. There you go, guys. Alright guys, so we're kidding, we're not putting another intake on it. We're gonna go ahead and put the supercharger on. Right?
Supercharged.
Yeah.
Instant horsepower.
Who doesn't like getting blown?
Wow.
Mira pa ahí.
This guy likes being blown. I blew that shit right out of hell.
Probably that RTV you put in there, sir.
Well, this is trying to fix this shit here.
So, go ahead and clean the surface here, and then get it all put back together. And we'll show you the process of that as well. Pretty much just reversing the process, but we'll go ahead and show you all of that too.
What?
What? Alright guys, so the new intake is being put on. We swapped over some sensors and plugs. We swap. This the new thermostat or the old one you had?
That's
The one that came with? Oh no, this is the lower temp one.
yeah.
So the thermostat's put in. Just gonna go ahead and go around and tighten up all the bolts to it. Alright guys, so a little update. Got the intake all down. Fuel rails going on. So, and then these are all, like I was saying, there's numbers on the intake. Turn on the light on this. Right there. It says 1, and then like 2 and 3, then 4, 5. That's where all the bolts are, where you start to do them, and then the torque sequence and everything. Then you get the fuel rail, lines right up to right there where all the bolts are at for the fuel rail. Get those tightened up. and then you can go ahead and throw coil packs in at that point, get all these tightened down, you know. Alright guys, so fuel rail's all on, tightened down. We're gonna go ahead and throw coil packs in, and then we'll move to the throttle body from there. And then we're gonna get the plate for the EGR lock off.
This guy right here has got to go in because I still got to torque.
Oh yeah,
everything.
that bracket's got to go on first.
Everything after this bracket goes on, then I can torque everything in sequence. Wherever that paper was.
It fly away with the wind. So we get the bracket on, then we can throw coil packs and stuff in it, and then move from the throttle body. But obviously we're gonna update you guys, you know.
So that was 6.
7 is gonna be the one back here.
There it is.
Yeah, that one's a little tricky, but
This is the setup that I had to use.
we used an adapter from 3/8 to 1/4 with a 1/4 inch socket on there. Gives you just enough space to fit in there underneath this box. So we're gonna go ahead and finish torquing these down, and then we'll update you guys.
It was self-threading.
Alright guys, so we went ahead and got the coil packs in. Make sure when you have the coil packs in and everything, you align the injectors up some so the pigtails can fit on them and they're not like out of the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the bolts or the screws in all the coil packs.
Oh.
Alright guys, so we got the plenum throttle body on, the throttle cables on, we got the throttle body bracket on. We're putting the bracket on now for the alternator. Power cables are on, all the pigtails and wiring is all on.
The only thing that did not match with the intake for this bracket was this one bolt that goes in here, and it's not matching up. So I just did the 2 top ones, and it feels like that's going to work just fine with just the 2 top.
But here's everything on this side put together, and then flip it. No otro lado. That goes to the back. And you got the upper bracket going on there, and you connect the coolant hose and fill it up with some coolant and put the intake back on. That's pretty much it. So we're gonna go ahead and button this all up, guys, and we'll show you the end result. Alright guys, so everything's back together. We're gonna go ahead and top off or fill up the coolant now, and then we'll start her up. Alright, so we're connecting the battery, topped off the coolant, and we're gonna start this thing. Alright, just start it. That works. Where's power? Now I see she turns on. Yep, she started.
All right, hold on.
I know exactly what's wrong.
What? Oh shit. Okay, we forgot something.
That's not on.
Stand by.
Sucking too much air, right?
Stand by for take 2.
All right.
Go ahead.
Let me get my flashlight.
Alright guys, so she's running and everything. I'm gonna go ahead and let it get top rated temperatures, make sure the intakes there, nothing's leaking, and top off some coolant. Alright guys, so coolant, as you can see, is topped off. The car is running and driving, or running at least. I mean, the car was drove, was just leaking. So, and then just gonna go ahead and re-torque everything down. So that's gonna do it for this one though, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification button so y'all can get notified when we post, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.